Greetings, fellow Whovians, and welcome to Timey, Wimey Review. With the release of Season 17 of Classic Doctor Who being released on Blu-ray this week, which I imagine will be on many Whovians' Christmas lists, I am reviewing what is arguably the best story from that season, City of Death, originally broadcast on BBC One in September 1979. Just in case you don't know the plot, the Fourth Doctor and Romana are experiencing some time disturbances whilst they are holidaying in Paris. Their investigation leads them to secret time experiments, the Mona Lisa painting, and a mysterious count whose actions can change the very course of the history of Earth. First off, I love the banter between the Fourth Doctor and Romana in this story. You can clearly tell that Tom Baker and Lala Ward are having the time of their lives filming this four-part adventure. I just liked seeing the friendship blossoming between the Doctor and Romana, and just behind the scenes, you can see the love for Tom Baker and Lala Ward, so much so that they do end up getting married in real life at that time. And yeah, just seeing the banter between the two and the snappy dialogue that has been delivered, it's just a joy to watch on screen. In case you didn't know, this is the first story that was filmed overseas for Doctor Who. So the crew, a minimal crew obviously, went out to Paris and filmed some great shots, and it just enhances the story so much. It just gives the story a polished finish. If you compare that to the previous story, Destiny of the Daleks, now bearing in mind, Doctor Who was always on a low budget, but I would say over the next two seasons and maybe from season 16, you can clearly tell that the budget was being very stretched. Again, comparing this to Destiny of the Daleks, it's just night and day in terms of the sets, the location filming, and the special effects. Where in Destiny of the Daleks, it did look a bit tired, a bit battered in places, and a bit torn, and some of the special effects just not quite up to scratch. Where in City of Death, I mean, the location filming is gorgeous, the sets are brilliant, and even the special effects, mainly just being the shot of the alien spaceship, is brilliant. It's breathtaking to see. And like I said, it's just night and day between the two stories. City of Death boasts a fantastic cast of actors and actresses, and the supporting characters for the story are brilliant. Most notably, Julian Glover as the Count. Julian Glover is such a acting legend, from Doctor Who to Star Wars, Game of Thrones, Indiana Jones, and in Doctor Who as the Count, he just brings a great performance to this role. He doesn't phone in his performance, and again, just everyone, to be fair, had a great sense of energy, and just the energy is just bouncing off all the other characters. So, for example, the Count with the Doctor, or the Count with Romana, or the Count with Duggan, and it just elevates the story as a whole. And as I mentioned there, Tom Chadbon as Duggan, again, it just I don't know if it's just me, maybe just going into it a bit too far-fetched, but with it being Douglas Adams involved, the character reminds me of a pre-Dirk Gently. Again, I could be going way off the mark with this, so do let me know in the comments below. But I really enjoyed Tom's performance as Duggan, and I like the character a lot. He's just a very heavy-handed character. Just just the way he sort of goes around, just breaking furniture and just opening a bottle of wine. He doesn't open a bottle of wine, he smashes the top end of the bottle of wine and pours it in Romana's drink. And brave of Romana to take a sip of that drink, because I wouldn't have done, with all the shards of glass that are probably in there, which you do see a bit as well. But yeah, for me, Duggan is kind of like a bonus companion to the Doctor, and I do forgive me. I don't know if they are in Big Finish audios, but yeah, it would have been nice to see the Doctor return and visit Duggan one day. It's also nice to see Doctor Who alumni David Graham, who has been in, again, various stories and, of course, other TV shows such as Thunderbirds, but also a great cameo appearance with John Cleese and Eleanor Bron. it was such an out of nowhere sort of cameo for these two actors, but it just fits perfectly in this story. So the writing credit for City of Death belongs to David Agnew. However, that was a pseudonym name which was used for David Fisher, who originally drawn up the concept for this story, but it was heavily rewritten by script editor at the time, Douglas Adams, who is famed for Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and the as aforementioned Dirk Gently, with contributions from Doctor Who producer Graham Williams. But what I like about this is this story that it has a fine balance between humor and adventure, which doesn't always go to plan in the subsequent stories from season 17. Some of the stories, again, a bit like Destiny of the Daleks and Creature from the Pit and the Haunted Naimon, especially, they kind of go over the top on the humor, which kind of cheapens the story a little bit. And to be fair, when I saw the making of on this DVD, Douglas Adams sort of quite notably sort of says that when you put humor into a scene, everyone wants to kind of do silly walks and silly voices, where that should not be the case. And sometimes you get it right, sometimes you don't. But for City of Death, the balance between, again, adventure and humor is just spot on. You can't fault it. I'm going to give City of Death a TARDIS rating of 8.5 out of 10. This is just a fantastic story to watch. I can't fault it. I highly recommend checking this out if you haven't done so already. This is just a good balance of humor and adventure storytelling, which, if anything, kind of, again, you can take sort of elements of this and you can see that in modern Doctor Who. But in terms of the humor, sometimes it doesn't work. This is kind of like, again, a little bit of lightning in the bottle, where this has just got the great balance. Where in, let's say, modern Doctor Who, sometimes the humor goes a little bit off boil. For example, Love and Monsters is, just goes down the humor road, but just doesn't quite stick the landing. But it also happens in classic Doctor Who as well, especially during the Douglas Adams, Graham Williams era. Haunted Naimon and Destiny of the Daleks, again, are prime examples of when humor doesn't work and it just sort of kind of cheapens the story. But here it's just a great sort of, it's a different sort of animal and flavor to Doctor Who, but it just is a good story. It's just has a mixture of everything, really good humor, great science fiction, great wit, acting, special effects, sets, music. Dudley Simpson does a great score here, and just filming location, again, compared to some of the low budget stories that we see through season 17 and even through season 16 and 18. It's all on a bit of a low budget. But yeah, City of Death, I can't recommend it enough, and clearly is the best story from season 17, in my opinion. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on City of Death. Is this your favourite story from season 17 of classic Doctor Who? If not, what is your favourite story from that season, which is now out on Blu-ray? Next time on Time Wime Review, I conclude my seasonal Doctor Who reviews of 2021 with the Christmas special Twice Upon a Time. Until then, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this review. Please like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. And as a good doctor once said, I'd say, what a wonderful butler. He's so violent.